All right. Hey, everyone. Thank you for tuning in. So, I want to just take a look at the market here. We're going to look at Nvidia, and we're going to do what I just call kind of like a free form technical analysis lesson. A lot of technical analysts, that I can't even talk, a lot of technical analysis or analysts, they always point back to like, oh, gee, yeah, last year I made this call. Look how great it was. I'm someone that really legitimately traded a lot of big positions back in my institutional trading days. And let's just do some free form looking at NVIDIA. All right. So, one of the first things that I see is this was your classic bearish engulfing pattern, which pretended, I don't know about pretended, I said the word wrong, which preceded, yeah, that's what I was looking for, a downtrend. This shows aggressive sellers. Forget what the name is. Okay, forget it's called the bearish engulfing pattern. Forget it's called a outside reversal day. Think about what it shows. The blue team is in charge here, and on this day, you would have thought the blue team was in charge again. All right. It looked like it opened up here, and it did open up here. It looked like it was going to be another up day. But what happened? By the close, the sellers came in and pushed it all the way down, and it closed here. A blue day on this chart is when the closing price is higher than the opening price. A red day is a day where the closing price is lower than the opening price. So the blue team is pushing it up. It looked like it was going to be another up day. But what happened? It was almost like the blue team made a goal line stand. All right. And they pushed it all the way back. And this was a sign that the red team or the Bears, we're looking at Bulls and Bears, were taking over. So anyway, the red team pushed it all the way down. What happened here? It found support at this level. Why did it find support around this level? Was it because of some, thing in the cosmos? Was it because some, butterfly in the Philippines 2 years ago waved its wings? I don't know. I don't think that deeply. What I think is, wow, look at that. This level was support back here. Okay. There are people who sold at the bottom here that regret doing so when the price went higher. Maybe you're one of them. You probably know people if you're in a trading community. If you know people in the trading community that regret selling NVIDIA, I mean, come on, man. Subscribe, give us some love, send our stuff out. We're not here to rip anyone off like the vast majority of websites are that preach quote unquote technical analysis. I'm here to teach people. But anyway, let me get back into this. So, why is there support at the level that was support before? Because people sold. Okay. And then the price went higher and they regret selling. They like, if it ever gets back to my price, I'm going to buy my shares back. Remorseful sellers placing buy orders can turn support into support again. This is what institutional traders look for. What levels? I'm not going to say like in the trading world that I was in where we go into it with this granular analysis, because if you're a hedge fund trader, you're not just like trading GameStop. You got like hundreds of positions you need to monitor. And when you talk to your brokers, it's like, okay, tell me, where do the buyers come alive? Where do the sellers come alive? Which means where's their support? Where's their resistance? Anyway, in a situation like this, they would have said, all right, the buyers come alive around 118. This level was support from June and recently. Now let's look at this. Notice how the level that was resistance became resistance again. Opposite dynamic. People bought and the price goes lower, and it's like, all right, I made a mistake. If it gets back to my price, I'm going to get out at break even. So remorseful buyers placing sell orders at the level that was resistance before can make a resistance again. Remorseful sellers placing buy orders at the level that was support can make it become support again. Okay. Levels form because of psychology. All right, let's look at the 1 day chart and see if we can see anything there. This is what I call the fractal nature of charting. And I think this is so phenomenal. And people don't really understand it. And it's really phenomenal. It's amazing. It's an amazing thing. It's an illustration of human psychology. So now we're looking at the chart of hours, and what do we see? We see the same stuff. Resistance at a former resistance level. We just talked about how The reason why there's resistance at former resistance levels is because of buyer's remorse. We saw the psychology of longer term traders. Now we're looking at the psychology of day traders. Resistance at a former resistance level. Look at this. Resistance at a former resistance level. Oh, here we have our ascending triangle. The ascending triangle is a bullish pattern. The sellers are willing to hang out and be, patient and, hang out around here while the buyers get more aggressive as time is going by. They're paying higher prices. So the ascending triangle pattern is an illustration of patient sellers, aggressive buyers. Whatever market it is, stocks, real estate, aggressive buyers can place and sellers sets the stage for a move higher. I mean, I think this stuff is so fascinating, and so few people really appreciate it because most technical analysts really suck, and they're an embarrassment to what we do. Look at this. Once again, this is the 1 hour chart. This isn't a coincidence. Support became resistance. Oh, you hear those hawks in my backyard? Isn't that cool? All right. So anyway, this is what I call the fractal nature of charting. You see the same patterns on charts of different time horizons because we're looking at the psychology of traders who have different time frames in their strategies. I know it seems kind of bizarre. Look at that. Support became support. Some price levels are more important than others. All right, now let's take a look at the 5-year chart of Nvidia, which probably won't be as revealing because Nvidia has only been really kind of like within vogue, within the last year or two. But who knows? Maybe we'll see something here. Let's see. Yeah. I mean, we got something here. I mean, look at that support level. Yeah, actually, it's pretty clear. So now we're looking at the weekly chart. Now we're looking at the psychology of the long-term buy and hold investors. There are people that bought in March. There are people that sold in March of 21 that regret their decision. Years later, October of 22, they go to buy their shares back. Now you might say, Mark, you're whatever. Are you on crack? Well, no, I'm not, frankly. And this stuff amazes me too. I mean, look at that. You can't really argue that. And then if I met someone in a bar and, they told me this happened, I wouldn't believe them because it seems so bizarre. But look at the chart. It does. What was resistance here became support here. Remember, we're looking at a weekly chart now. July of 21, support in February of 22. Resistance of August 22. All right. Anyway, everybody. All right, let's look at Nvidia again. I see these like lessons on YouTube that are just so terrible and they suck, and people lose money, and it really upsets me because they diminish what we do. They make technical analysis look like astronomy or astrology. Well, actually, astronomy is a real science, but astrology, and it's really kind of disgraceful. All right, so anyway, let's look at the 1-year chart again, and let's just take a look at a common momentum indicator. I like the RSI a lot. Simple. None of them are perfect. You just got to pick the one or two that you really like and, get comfortable with them. So now from this point of view, the stock is neutral. And I agree. From this point of view, this would be like your swing trader point of view. Nvidia is kind of neutral, barring any kind of news coming up. And if you're an Nvidia trader, you probably know it better than I do. I don't know if there's any news stories coming up. You know, I mean, yeah, I mean, who the hell knows? It's less risky than a meme stock. But anyway, all right. Well, I hope all this helped you. My goal is to teach people. I get really mad when I see all this garbage on the internet or these YouTube pages that preaches this stuff that makes technical analysis, like embarrassing, because it's not. It's legitimate if you do it the right way. All right, everybody. That being said, I'm going to go enjoy my Saturday night, and I will see you all tomorrow.